Hey there everybody, Brad here. This is my mixer. I'm going to show you how to set up a very simple studio setup type thing if you want to do broadcasts or prank calls if you want. Anything you want, you know, like, but the important thing is I want to show you how to hook up a phone into your mixer setup so that you can take calls and you can adjust the caller volume and adjust your own volume independently of each other, which I think is very important because usually caller volumes are all over the place and it's hard to keep those up to the same point that your own are, if that makes any sense. This is a $180 mixer. It's a Behringer Xenyx 1204 USB. I know $180 might be out of some people's price range, but this way that I'm going to tell you to set this up works with pretty much any mixer, any Behringer mixer, but also any other brand of mixer. This is a slightly cheaper one. I think this one might cost $140 or something, maybe even cheaper. Probably more like $100 if you get it on eBay. But it has the same important stuff you need. It's a Xenyx 802. I would get the 802 USB so you can output your USB into your computer. This one doesn't have anything like that, so screw that one. I'm gonna sit down now because I keep bumping into this camera that's hovering above me, and that's no good. I don't want to make you guys sick. So turn on your mixer. I've got the main mix levels at 0, and I have this little sticker here that kind of holds it in place at 0, so I can't drunkenly, you know, move it around and stuff. Or if I do, I can just push it back down to the sticker. Same with this, but this doesn't matter. We're not going to talk about that. That's confusing. But it was very useful when I used this mixer to do shows. So what you need first is a microphone. This is a really cheap microphone. It's $35. I got it from Radio Shack. It is a 33128 if you want to go to your local Radio Shack and have them look up that part number in their computer. And we're going to plug that into this thing right here. Each row here is a different input, and I'm choosing row number 1 as mic number 1. And as you can see, it can hear me. Even though we can't hear me through this, I should plug in a speaker so we can hear myself. I've got this speaker. It's like an outdoor Bluetooth speaker, but it also accepts inputs, and I can input it into these jacks back here, the control room jacks. Technically, I should be outputting to the master, but it doesn't matter. Come on, I'm a rebel. I do what I want. So if I turn this on, is it on? And then I turn up the volume a little bit. Oh God, it's gonna, hello, now you can hear me. Brad, karaoke time. All right, let's turn that off. Turn it off. I'm gonna just completely turn this off because we don't really need that right now. So we're halfway there. We got a microphone. Now all we need is a phone calling device. I'm going to use the cell phone out of my pocket, my actual cell phone that I carry around with me. That's going to be the phone calling device. We're not going to hook this up to any computers. We're just going to hook it up to a phone just to make it simple for now. And to do that, you need one of these cables. It's called a TRRS cable, which means it has these 4 little segments here: tip, ring, sleeve. And the extra ring is for microphone. I'm sure most of you know this. You know, usually there's only 3 on like your old Walkman or Discman that you walk around town with still today in 2022, and it outputs to separately a microphone and a headphone. And that's most useful, I guess, for you know, plugging into your laptop that has the same connection. You can plug your gaming headset into it, I guess, would be the most common use these days. But I'm going to plug it into my cell phone, and we're going to output these 2 things, I mean input and output, into the mixer using these cables. These black parts are stereo, and this is a stereo to mono adapter. You want to have mono, but I don't know if it actually matters because I think it would just catch it either way. The things that we're plugged into are both mono things, but whatever, doesn't matter. I'm using the converters just to be safe, okay? Calm down. Headphones. So that's going to be your output. You want to have your output going into an input. I'm going to choose this input, which is number 4, just because it's labeled Skype. So that's what I'm going to plug the headphones into. That's the headphone, right? I can barely see that. And you plug it into there. The microphone, output, input. I'm confused. I'm bad at explaining things, you guys. But what you plug this into is a thing called a send. So we have 2 rows of sends on this mixer. We're only going to use one of them. Here, I'm going to turn these down, just so they're like this one. So the red one is the first row of sends. What color is that? Orange is the second row of sends. And those are connected to these 2 things here. This is send number 1. This is send number 2. No, you don't have to understand any of this. I barely do. I just know how to make it go. And then you want your channels to be able to hear the cell phone. Wait, no, you want your channels to output, and the cell phone hears the channels. Oh my god, my head hurts. So just turn these all up to 0. Just, normally I might have mic number 1, then I have a guest in the studio, that's mic number 2. I want the cell phone to hear guest number 2. We're just going to turn them all up. The sound effects, we want the cell phone to hear my sound effects. We want them to hear my laptop, which, I don't know, whatever's hooked up to the laptop, Spotify or something. But the one thing that you don't want, this is why sends are important, because you can choose which channels aren't heard, or heard by the cell phone. And you do that by turning them down, and the one channel that you want to turn down is the one that your phone is actually hooked up to, because otherwise it's going to echo. You're going to get a lot of echo. Everything the caller says is going to echo back at them. Maybe you wouldn't hear the echo, I don't know. But you definitely want to turn off that channel only, and just have all the other ones on. Like, I don't actually need these 2 on because they're not hooked up to anything. I don't need these 2 on. I'm just showing you. Skype, turn down your Skype or cell phone or whatever you call it knob, because you don't need that. I try to turn everything up to 0. That way, things can be seen on here, and you get the best sound quality that way because your stuff's turned all the way up, and you don't have to turn other things up and then have a bunch of, weird random noises coming through. You don't want that. So I think we're ready. Maybe. I guess we'll just try this. Okay, what do? I guess we will make a phone call. Well, let's just make a phone call and see if it comes out of the speakers. That's what we'll do. I'm going to call time and temperature in Alton. Oh god, it's loud. I'm going to turn off the microphone. Time and temperature in Alton, Illinois. And there we go. See, that is outputting to your
Riverbender Radio,
computer.
A new app for the Riverbend. It features only local radio stations from right
The
here
levels
in the
look
Riverbend,
good.
plus 3 brand new stations we
This is really
created
loud.
for you. Check them all out and let us know what you
Yeah, the
think.
levels are
You can
low,
leave
but
feedback
you
online
could
at
turn them up a little, I guess.
Riverbender Radio.
Well, no, that sounds awful.
Riverbender.com.
But there you go. You can see how that works. I'm going to turn that upside down so that nothing private gets displayed. So we're going to try and make a phone call, I guess, or a Skype call. I'm going to get on this phone, and this is my landline, which, everyone has a landline in their house in 2022, obviously. And I'm going to call my cell phone, but I'm not going to put the screen up to the camera because I don't want you guys to have my cell phone number. I've been there before. I don't like that. Oh god, that's loud. Alright, I'm getting a call from my landline, which is 505-666-0000. I'm going to answer that. And I'm talking into the cordless phone now. And it can hear me. And then I can't hear myself, which actually I can because of this damn speaker. Let's turn that off. And I don't know how I can really demonstrate this. I swear that it works, and this setup works perfectly. As you see, whenever I talk, there's a slight delay. I'm talking into the cordless phone now. That's just because of the internet. You know, it takes a minute, a second, a half second, whatever, for it to send out and come back. That's normal. Don't worry about it. But I guess that's basically it, right? Like, we have that turned down. If microphone levels are low, you could turn that up a little bit. But that's pretty much it. You know, plug your cell phone into that. Plug your input into the send, so it outputs into the whatever. I don't know, man. But what if you want a soundboard on your fancy new cell phone only setup here? I've got a solution for that. I've got this thing. This is my actual soundboard that I currently use on my setup, and it's got a bunch of wacky sounds on it, like a phone hanging up, and the oh my god, and I don't know, that thing. So I'm gonna give it some power, plug it into this, set it here, and then it's easy. You just hook it up into any input. I'm gonna put it into the one that's already labeled sound effects, which goes right here. And then you just plug this into here, and guess what? Now it's much louder and going into the mixer. I'm gonna put it at 0. Hopefully that's not gonna make it go crazy loud, because I don't know how loud things are right now that I've just hooked up. Well, that's not very loud at all. But as you can see by the blinks that it's coming out of the speaker now. Think of the speaker as your PC. You're going to output everything into your PC. This is your PC. And it all seems to work. I think that's it. I have demonstrated how to hook up a phone call, right? That doesn't echo back at you. Right, did I do that correctly? I hope I did that correctly, everybody. So, I hope this helps you. I should show you that, I mean, obviously, you probably don't really want to use your cell phone. So, I tend to use things like this. This is a Behringer U-Control UCA222. It's basically just a USB sound card. You could also just use your own computer sound card, or you could use any other USB sound card. But I like these. You know, it's got two things for input, 2 things for output. Input, output. I said that backwards. And you just plug this into your computer, and you would just let's say, instead of being plugged in your cell phone, you would plug your, oh, that's awesome. You'd plug this into this, and you know, this into this, and it's the exact same thing. You're just using your computer instead. Then you would set up your Skype or whatever your calling device is to use this Behringer sound card. So exact same thing. We're not going to get into that though. I'm just showing you how to hook it up to your cell phone like this. Is that the microphone? Yes. Okay, I got that right. So that's how you do setup without a computer. You could have like another cell phone and just output all of your sound into that cell phone and broadcast it on, I don't know, Twitter Spaces or YouTube or Facebook, whatever you want to do. Prankcast, of course, that would be my suggestion. Broadcast over to prankcast.com. So I hope this tutorial helps. I hope it's not too basic. I hope I explain things pretty good. If you're unfamiliar with my show, you should be listening to it. It's called The Snowplow Show. Snowplowshow.com. Alright, bye everybody. You know what I didn't mention in that video? That obviously you want to plug your headphones in right here. Don't listen through your computer, only listen through this. If you listen through your computer, you're not going to hear all the things, and it's going to sound like shit. So plug in some headphones, put those on instead of using a loud-ass speaker. Also, one thing I forgot that I'm just now remembering is that these little things are lifesavers when it comes to, they're not literally lifesavers, they're a noise loop isolator. What is it called? I don't know. It's an MPOW, noise loop isolator thing. But often when you plug in a device, especially a USB device, into your mixer, sometimes you'll get noise, and that sucks. It can really mess up your show and make it super annoying to listen to. So you just plug in one of these filters. I just closed. Why did that happen? Come back. And then plug in the other side to this. And that's it. This thing will filter out that weird little buzzing sound that you hear. Sometimes you might even need to plug one in to the output or the input. I never can remember. Try them both. But like you might want to plug one in between here. If you're not experiencing noise issues, then lucky you. Must be nice. But I use these things. I have like 5 of them hooked up to my setup right now just to keep all the noise down. I know there's probably a better way to go about it, but this is what I've been doing for years. I just get these little MPOW noise loop isolator things. I'll try to put links in the show notes for some of this stuff so that you know what to get. But I think that's it, right? Yeah, that's everything. Headphones and noise isolators if you need them. You might not need them, but you might want to just pick one up just in case if you ever start to hear buzzing. Just, you know, plug one in and that'll take care of the noise for you usually, unless it's something else. All right, bye again, everybody.